Is it fixed? I think I just fixed it. Is it fixed?
Is it fixed?
Gotta love hearing yourself say that 18 times. Gotta love. Hello everybody. Sorry for the silence at the start of the VOD. If you're a VOD viewer, which most people usually are with these live streams, I usually try to not have that. It makes it harder to rewatch them, I feel like, but whatever. It's Elden Ring time. Hello, chat. Welcome. As usual, if you want me to rant about literally anything, send a super chat along, and I will rant about whatever the hell you want. Am I a gaming YouTuber now? I've been doing Elden Ring live streams since the game came out. And also talked about a lot of Souls. Okay, so I'm playing this on Joy-Cons, as you can see. So, this is I used to have an Xbox One controller, but it doesn't seem to work. So this is all I could get. This is all I had on hand to work with my computer. I've never tried playing Elden Ring with Joy-Con, but hopefully it won't be too much of a huge pain in the ass. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and be... What should we start as? Everybody's talking about samurai right now. Let's go with the samurai. Body type. We'll do type B. Trixie, Goldie Witch. Oh, I can't fit all of that. Whatever. We'll just be Trixie then. How far did I get into this game? I got to Renala, and I did not beat Renala. But it's been like 2 years since I got that far, so I figured it's probably better for me to just start from the beginning. If I'm going to remember what the fuck this game is about, how to play it and all that. I don't think I'm going to be able to just jump right back in and try to take Renala all over again. When this game came out, I was paying a lot of attention to the community around it and everything. Like, I was trying not to spoil myself, and I still haven't really spoiled myself for this game. But, basically, I would play through a segment and then go watch all the videos about that segment to find out everything I missed. And then I went back through those segments and just did everything. So, like, everything up to the point of fighting Renala that I could have done within the first 2, like, realms of the game, I had done. So I've seen a lot of it, but only up to a certain point, And I probably had, like, a solid 20 to 30 hours on the game. I can try to fix the game audio. For some reason, the game and OBS don't like to be open on screen at the same time together on my end for some reason. It doesn't affect your experience seemingly, but yeah. So I played this, back when it came out. What do I think about Twitch? I don't watch Twitch, so I just have I don't care about it. I have no real reason. The whole system of how Twitch works requires you to be like streaming. It's much more regulated around scheduled streaming, around like knowing exactly what you're doing and doing the same thing over and over again. I do the opposite of that. I stream totally at random and about different things all the time. So I just don't think that my format works for Twitch the way it does on YouTube. I already have an embedded YouTube audience anyways. And again, I don't watch Twitch. So to me, there's very little appeal to going over there. But yeah, so I got decently far into this game, and basically it's just such a time commitment that, as soon as I wanted to do anything else that took a lot of time, this game fell by the wayside. But there's a DLC coming out in like a month, and I figure I could probably beat the game in a month if I stream it all the time, I'm still probably going to stream stuff other than Elden Ring, because I prefer doing walk-around daytime streams over late-night video gaming streams, but we'll see. We'll see how much time I can find for Elden Ring versus my other stuff. As usual, though, if you want me to rant about literally anything, submit a super chat. I will rant about whatever. I'll talk about anything you want. I also need to stress that if you're an anime fan who's seeing this as like the first video you've seen from me in a long time for whatever reason, I have been talking about anime again on another channel called We Watch Anime. I do full-on analysis videos over there. I've also been doing a manga recommendation show, so check that out if you are an anime fan who's finding out that I'm doing YouTube content still just now from this video, because every single time I do a stream, a bunch of people who haven't seen me in like a decade show up. So, shouts out to all those people. We Watch Anime is where you can find my other anime content. I'm always posting stuff on Twitter and Instagram. Golden Witchfire. Can I name all the channels I'm active on? Sure. There's We Watch Anime, and there's Yig Studio. I have a channel called Picnic Adventure, but I will probably post whatever I'm going to make for that channel here from now on anyways, just because this channel is kind of for everything that's not anime. Basically, the theory right now is there's an anime channel, and then there's a channel for everything else. So this is the channel for everything else. But if you want to hear anime content, We Watch Anime would be the place to go for that. All right, I spawn with a bow as a samurai. That's neat. I have to figure out what do the the controls I'm seeing on screen are for keyboard, but I'm playing with a Joy-Con, so bear with me if it takes me a moment to figure out what the buttons do. I've never tried playing PC games with the Joy-Cons before, but again, my other controller broke. Still Splinter, I'm glad you've been enjoying Manga Monday. I enjoy doing it. I haven't been doing it every single Monday because I haven't found time to read manga every single week. But I enjoy making time for manga and talking about it on the show. It's a fun project for me. It would probably be something I did, like I made sure came out weekly if it got more views, but it just gets so few that I have to treat it as more of a passion project. Right now, I make most of my money doing live streams, just getting super chats for rant requests. So I've been really on the live stream game. Although mostly I've been doing vertical streams. I don't know if I'll get the same results doing this here horizontal, old school gaming live stream. This isn't the hype on YouTube right now. This isn't the big meta or whatever. But I want to beat Elden Ring before the fucking DLC comes out, and I need to make an excuse for myself, which is doing live streams. And people have told me they would watch me play this game because I'm such a big Souls fan, and I've talked so much about From Software's games over the years. And, you know, I like this game a whole lot. I did 2 videos, 2, like, lengthy written videos about this game when it came out. But again, they underperformed to a degree where I kind of had to treat it as a passion project. It was taking too much work and not getting enough reward. It was very fun to do, but, you know, I'm always after that bag as a broke bitch. And so whenever a project is not making a turnaround, I gotta look at it like, well, this one might not be the one. I landed a hit. If you want to hear about my take on VTubers and why I am not doing VTubing right now, go watch my previous live stream from yesterday about, it was called The Truth About Cows. And in it, I go extensively into why I cannot afford to, first of all, but also, you know, don't think it's necessarily in my best interest to do a VTuber streaming. I would change format. I would have a specific format, a specific way I would do VTuber streaming if I was going to do it. But I can't really afford to do that. Look at this horse. Look at my horse. My horse is amazing. He's giving me a lick because I taste like a raisin. Alright, enough with the cutscenes. I got some flasks. Hell yeah. I don't care. What do you got to say? I will take the plunge. I will remembrance. First I'm gonna look around. Spooky place. You ever think about just taking clips from your streams and making them into videos? Oh yes, I have done it just today, actually. If you go to the shorts page, you will find that I have released 2 shorts from yesterday's stream. A third one is on the way. My entire last 2 big uploads, the Kendrick Lamar versus Drake video and the BBL Drizzy analysis, were both cut from my live streams. If you haven't seen any of this stuff, don't worry. YouTube doesn't show my content to my subscribers. Very, very rarely. You know, I said it at the start. Every single time I live stream, a bunch of people show up who don't realize I've been doing it every day for 2.5 weeks. Don't realize I've been putting out content consistently forever. People just come and go, and YouTube randomly is like, hey, remember this person? Every once in a while. It's very strange. Alright, I can't really do anything at the bonfire yet. I haven't done shit. I haven't gathered. I haven't hunted. Let's go ahead and start with that. Alright. Thunderous, gnashing firestorm. Hello, other guy. Oh, that was sick. I didn't realize the katana was that long. I thought I was gonna miss. This is dope. I don't think I've tried playing samurai before. You hit for a lot too. I don't have a ton of health, but I have a ton of armor. And I doubt I will ever want more armor than this, since it's more than I typically play with. And I'm still rolling quick, so... It's weird, the way this controller's formatted right now. The jump button is what I'm used to being the run and dodge button. So I've tripped myself up on that a couple times, but I'm sure I'll get used to it. Kendrick versus Drake video seems to be doing good views-wise. Yeah, it's I got it out in a timely fashion, so I think that helps. Well, BBL Drizzy's been stuck in your head and you blame my video. I mean, blame the Blame the song. It's just incredible. All I did was talk about it. If you hadn't heard that song until that video, you really got to get more plugged in. I'm telling you. You gotta culturify yourself. Hey, I see a super chat. I will read that as soon as I kill this guy, which is apparently immediately. From JNES with Australian $8. Thank you very much. I would heart and like that, but I'd have to like Alt-Tab out of the game. Well, wait, actually, I have this open on my phone. I can just cleverly go and interact with chat on the down low in a totally non-distracting, non-disruptive fashion. JNES with Australian $7.99. How much would it be for a 3-episode first impressions of an anime that came out in fall 2023? So you're asking how much would it cost for me to watch 3 episodes of this show and share my impressions on them? That's a good question. I have to be careful how I set this rate because other people might jump on it, and I've made the mistake before of like I don't think, how do I put it? It's the difficult thing about like pricing your time is like I don't think it's necessarily worth that much, but if I offer too little and then a bunch of people want that time equally, I don't have that much time, you know. The problem I ran into when I used to do rants for, like I used to offer set amounts, like I would rant about a certain number of episodes based on a certain price for Patreon. And I definitely set the rates too low because I got quickly overwhelmed with how much I had to consume on behalf of other people. It's a problem of like, you know, partially it depends on like, is this something I would have wanted to check out anyways? You know, like if you're offering me for a show that I would want to watch, it's probably not going to feel as brutal as if it was a request for something I really wouldn't. So, for 3 episodes, I'm just gonna say $100. I know I would do it for $100. Like, I could act like I'm bigger than that or deserve more. I might even deserve more money, but I'm not gonna act like I would not do it for $100. Because I know I could probably, you know, I'd turn it into something that I would also make money off of. So. You know, that seems affordable. It doesn't seem outrageous to me. As soon as I kill this boss, I will read all of the other super chats. Apparently that's immediately. Alright. I'm gonna do this from the phone so I can keep liking and hearting them all. And they stay in order. Still Splinter with €5. Can you rant about your all-time favorite mangas? Real quick, I'm also going to say Anathemi Badesi with $5 just said, "Hi, happy Friday. Happy Friday to you too." Anyway, to answer Still Splinter, on my all-time favorite mangas. So, I'll do this by era. That's the way I've been looking at favorites these days. You know, it's like I could come up with what do I think are my current top 5, but it wouldn't really be as meaningful as like which manga at different points in my life meant a lot to me, you know? So like when I think of like my first favorite manga, King of Bandits Jing is the very first like manga I ever purchased. I bought volume 1, and it was a long time before I ever even found more of it. So like it wasn't immediately my number one favorite in the way that like Rave Master was my favorite for a bit, then Naruto, but like as I kind of learned more about anime and manga, I realized that those stories were somewhat generic. You know, stuff that's like King of Bandits Jing that's really unique started appealing to me more, and I never found another thing like Jing. There's nothing else like it. In the first couple of volumes, you can feel like a strong influence from Akira Toriyama, but as you go, his artwork keeps evolving and growing more unique, like constantly, you know, to the point where there's the second series of Jing that like is so aesthetically different that they just called it like a new show, basically. Oh shit, I don't remember. I think I forgot to pick a specific yeah, see, I would need 2 stone sword keys to open this, and I think I only have 1, because I know there's a way to start off with 2, but I don't think I did it. I think I forgot. Because that is a way I could go. I mean, it's really hard. I tried to do a run for a video just for the sake of a thing where I was going to start my game from going that way. I made a lot of attempts, and I got real close, but I never quite made it. I gave up at some point. So yeah, Jing King of Bandits is one of my all-time favorites. Highly recommended if you just enjoy adventure stories that are really inventive, you know, artwork that never runs out of ideas until it's over. And then Bokurano was one that had a lot of impact on me, reading that in like my early 20s. It's a very dark, very grimdark mecha series about a classroom full of children who all have to one at a time pilot a mech that kills you when you pilot it for the sake of saving the world. And like literally you die immediately after piloting it, so not like a slow death thing, like characters dying every chapter type thing, or every arc. And then what are some more? Nazca of the Valley of the Wind is both, like, in terms of what are the best just like epic manga, like manga that follow like a traditional somewhat western storytelling structure of like, you know, an epic. Nazca and Akira, both from the 80s, are like the ultimate. God damn it, I'm supposed to break that, right? Yeah, I thought so. It's been so long since I played this. I'm following the same route I did the first time too, which is like go straight to the edge and look down and like, okay, where can I go? Mapping instinct takes over. Yeah, I have not seen the Bokurano anime. I've also heard it's very different from the manga because supposedly the anime director did not like the manga very much. It changed a lot of it. I wouldn't know really because I haven't seen it, but I enjoyed the manga a lot. It is very fucked up. It's very dark. And then trying to think of a couple more of like stuff that I know I've got listed on my like favorite manga on my anime list. I really like Shoulder of Coffin Kuro. I have not finished it though. I think I only read like 4 or 5 volumes because it was on hiatus for a long time. But that one's like the creepiest cute manga, like the creepiest you know, just cutesy slice of life for coma style manga. I'm realizing I might be able to plug my computer into an Ethernet port because I'm kind of actually, does my computer even have a fucking Ethernet port? Never mind. I don't think my laptop has a fucking Ethernet port. I was hoping I could get a wired connection here. Maybe reduce how shit it looks on the screen, but unfortunately, that's not looking like the case. Kill some baddies while I wait for some more super chats and try to think of a couple more manga. I know I have another like recent favorite. Oh, Free Ren. You know, just having read all of Free Ren, I really enjoyed. I'm hoping it can stay. The latest chapter was kind of wonky, and then it I think went on hiatus again. You know, if I'm wrong, chapter 129 is what I'm talking about. I don't know if there's a 130 now, but 129 was weird, and it felt like worrying, you know, but hopefully it'll sort itself out. I have faith because it's been very good. Well, let me know if I'm forgetting anything. People who know my taste better than I do. I know I've talked about my favorites enough that somebody probably knows something I forgot. Shit, what the fuck is drink? Okay, triangle. Or X, I guess, on this controller. Devilman, I do like Devilman a lot, but like a lot of Devilman is very corny and like it's really the concept, the very beginning and the very end of Devilman are the best parts. There's fun shit in the middle, don't get me wrong. There's fun stuff going on throughout it, but the very best parts of Devilman are definitely the start and the end. That's why I liked Devilman Crybaby so much, as like even though like in the long run it still wasn't like super memorable, the middle episodes just felt like they were just better written than the original. But you know, still a classic, still do recommend to everybody. All right. I got some gravity stuff. That's neat. See where, oh man, I don't know if I'm like ready to fight the guys here actually. I just came here on a whim. Oh yeah, they're stronger than shit. Oh fuck. This isn't good. I gotta remember how to two-hand my weapon while I'm at it. I'm carrying around this bow completely uselessly. No, I don't want to two-hand the bow. I guess that is my primary, isn't it? Shit. How do I go back to the sword? Fuck. I've literally never used a bow in this game before. Alright, it's time to get the fuck out of these mines. First, it's time to loot this fucking corpse. Rot grease. I haven't died yet. Where are my super chats? Oh, yeah, this is where the fucking... Is this Kalid? Is this where the big fucked up dragon that you can cheese for a shitload of souls is? Using bleed. This place is so fucked up. It's cool as fuck. Alright, let me chill in the corner and figure out my equipment for a second here. I don't need the longbow to be my fucking primary at all. Okay, yeah, none of that. Do I even have that equipped? Oh, okay, it's just like a... I see. Alright, how do I two-hand? No, that's not a thing I wanted to do. That's neat, I guess. What the fuck? Scared the shit out of me. Minus button? No. Oh, map. I forgot this game has an actual map. Oh, I didn't know I could put a beam marker down on myself. Hold triangle and hit RB. Okay, it's Y. I'm on a Joy-Con. Nobody calls me old, they do. You are clearly not reading my comments. But go ahead and read the comments on a few of my recent videos. Somebody said I looked 63 in a recent comment. I don't know how they could possibly think that, but, you know, it is what it is. It is a thing a person said. Oh, what is that? Oh, no, no. Where did you come from, man? Why are you here now, sudden? I don't like this. I don't like it. This place is a bad place for me. I shouldn't be... I'm not even supposed to be here. Oh, hello. Maybe I am supposed to be here. Well, there's advantages to running recklessly through areas you don't remember. I literally don't even know if I've like been here. I think I have. This seems kind of familiar. Alright, we're going to try to get over to that. Yeah, this does seem familiar. This must be outside. I thought I was in Caelid before, but I might just be near Raya the car. I'm not sure. It's been so long. Staff of Loss. Wonder what the fuck that does. Sorcery ahead. That's no good. Depths ahead. Okay. So, yeah, okay. I see the sorcerer. Yeah, fuck that guy. This is not the moment. Thank you. Nope. Oh, nope. I didn't. I picked my timing very poorly, actually. I thought he had just passed me and wouldn't see me. Well. Just popping in to say goodnight, good evening, Trixie. VOD gang from here on out. Good to see you. Thanks for, thanks for popping in. Enjoy the VOD. Gang. I need rants. I need things to rant about. I've come here nary a thought in mind, only desiring to play Elden Ring and rant about whatever I get paid to rant about. That's all I have. That's all that's left in this world for me. Is Elden Ring and ranting about random topics. So please, I beg of thee, pay me to talk about stuff. I can't do it for free. I'm not legally allowed by my personal brain laws. My brain has taught itself to stop talking if I don't get paid. Shit. Alright. I did it. I made it to a grace. I'm safe. Huh, the game now tells you like that you have a charge you can add to your flask. That's really cute. Alright, the likelihood of me using the other thing anytime soon is low. God damn it. Okay. I don't think I've got anything else I can do. Beastly. Beastly. VOD viewers. Hi. What's going on with you? Tell me in the comments. Actually, you know, if you leave like a super message when I'm not live, I can still read those. I can just read it on the next live. So you should be 24 hours beaming rant requests to my what the fuck do I call it? What do you call the thing where you check all your rant requests? Or super chats, as other people refer to them. Shitty fucking dogs. Alright, Yakuman has come to everyone's rescue with £5. Rant about Daybreak. It was killer. It was fire. Reminds me of the world over. I'm thinking a strong to light 7 on this one. Yeah, did I just say rant about Daybreak and not by Daybreak? Did, like, my brain fucking skip over that? I literally, for a second, didn't realize you were talking about my new song. Too distracted by getting killed by whatever that was. Yeah, By Daybreak is killer. It is fire. I'm glad it reminds you of The World Over, my most underrated album. And that you're thinking a strong to light 7. You know, that's a decent score. I hope I can get my score a little higher than a 7 in the future, but, you know, I'll take it. I'll take a 7. I shudder to think how low my scores could get. If one of my best songs is a 7, I shudder to think how low my the score of my average song is. But ads will run shortly for some viewers. Not while I'm in the middle of I'm already in the middle of an ad. I'm in an ad that somebody else paid me to do. Thank you, by the way. By Daybreak, my new song. It's done very well on Twitter, horribly on YouTube. It has only like 250 views. It is maybe the least viewed video on the whole channel. I don't know why. I don't know what controls people's desires to click on videos in general, you know? But it's a dope song. Shout out to Cement City, who made the beat and mixed and mastered the vocals and did a great fucking job making it sound a lot better than I could possibly have made it sound. 7 is just a meme queen. I would rate it higher than that. No, you don't have to feel bad about being honest. I don't normally rate singles, only albums, but lyrically it's one of your best. Thank you very much. Thank you. Can I elaborate on why AMHAC is JPEG Mafia's best project? I don't know if I think that. My favorite JPEG Mafia project is Scarin' the Hoes, actually, I think, with Danny Brown. But all of his albums are very, very good. But yeah, on the subject of my song, By Daybreak, which is also dank as fuck. Yeah, it's the first track. So I've been putting together an album. My last album, Rogue Alien Pet, I did all of the production. And I've grown to enjoy producing more over the years. It's still very much a struggle because I don't really know what I'm doing. And so, like, I'm proud of that album because it sounds like it's listenable in a way that most of my self-produced albums are, like, not. So I'm very happy with Rogue Alien Pet, but I want my next album to be, you know, one of the ones that other people make beats on, because usually those are the albums that I really like and other people really like. So, you know, I kind of put out an open call to all the producers that follow me. Just like, hey, anybody who's got beats, send them to me. This is still an open call, by the way. If you have beats that you want me rapping on, please, please. I am always in need of beats at all times. I make music very, very quickly. You know, I write fast. I record fast. I figure out what I want fast. I never have enough beats. And again, I struggle with self-production. So, like, for me, that's, like, just having to make my own beats slows me down so much that, like, if I didn't have to make my own beats, there's no reason to think I couldn't make just a ridiculous amount of music. But, you know, I only know so many people who even make beats. Not all of them are necessarily quick at doing it. Not all of them necessarily want to work on somebody else's project either. But, you know, I've been getting sent some really amazing beats from all kinds of people. And Cement City I'd never worked with, never heard their music before. Just received a beat in my DMs, and I thought it sounded sick. I said it sounded like Lo-Fi Igloo Ghost. And their response was, yeah, that's pretty accurate. Stop by the shack beyond the southern gate. Okay. Maybe I will. No, I don't want to go in there. I don't want to fucking fight the wizards. No, I don't want to fight the... God damn it. He's got so many shoots in his shooter. Where should you send me beats? Anywhere you want. I am most... Okay. I'm going to tell you how my life is. Alright? This is how I live. I wake up. I get on the computer. I look at Twitter and YouTube all fucking day. At some point, I go for a walk, or I do some live streaming. I work on my own projects. In between that, I look at Twitter and YouTube all fucking day. So if you want to reach me, Twitter is always the best way. I do most of my communication with other people through Twitter DMs, through @, like... I'm on there all fucking day. YouTube, You can leave comments, but obviously it's hard to link stuff on YouTube comments. So Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, I'm on those places, but mostly Twitter. And email, goldenwitchfire@gmail.com. You can always send me stuff there. But Twitter is the best bet that I will, not only see your question, but, or your beat or whatever it is. If you're trying to contact me, I will most likely see it, and also I'll most likely see it again. Like, if you send me an email, I might check all my email and then forget about all of them immediately. But on Twitter, if you send me a DM, I'll check my DMs enough times that I'll probably see that DM again, and that'll make me think about it again and click on it, which is probably... I'm also on Discord. If you go to the We Watch Anime Discord, you can reach me through that. It's linked on the We Watch Anime channel's About page. So, you have to head over there, but anybody can access it. But yeah, I really liked that beat, and so I've got a whole bunch of songs written for this project, and I've been slowly deciding which ones are good enough, as I do test runs and stuff. I had one track that I had mixed a version of it and I played it for Bird, and I was like, I can't tell if the song is, good or just okay. And he listened to it and he was just kind of like, eh. And, based on the advice or the problems he had, I went into I basically looked through my bars and was like, which one of these is the song that I'm the most excited about? Which one has a message that people are going to hear and it's going to wake them up, and make them think, yeah, all right, fuck yeah. And Wake Up Early and I Slapped 3 Rappers by Daybreak was pretty conclusive, It's also the song where I feel like it just has it doesn't let up. It's a lengthy track relatively for me, 2 minutes, almost 3 minutes long. 2 minutes and 45 seconds. That's long for me. Believe it or not, I recorded an even longer song today. My next track is shit. It's gonna be called 100K or 100K, and yeah, I just recorded for that today. I'm pretty excited about it. It's an even longer track, and it's produced by Sarah Louise, who produced half of Gay and Dead. I should say most of Gay and Dead. But yeah, I'll be excited to debut that track soon as well when it's complete. I also have done guest vocals for some other songs from other artists. Cecily Renz and Jeff Burgess and I are all on a song together. How do I get out of this fucking place? I've become boring. I need new things to rant about. Also, I need to figure out where the fuck I have to go to get out of here. Do I have fast travel? Can I just teleport to a Grace somewhere else or something? Is that something I would have unlocked by now if I hadn't rushed recklessly into this? Holy Jesus, Mother of Christ! JNES just dropped $159.99 in super chat. Holy Jesus Christ! Thank you. I guess this is going to happen. The first 3 episodes I want to see your impressions on is from the 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You anime. It's a comedy, romance, and harem anime that's animated by Bilberry Animation Studios. Have fun. I guess I'll be doing that. My brother Victor really liked that show. So I've been somewhat curious. You're not the first person to recommend it, but I think I just tried a tiny bit of the first episode and was like, I don't know. This doesn't seem like something I would like. But like I said, I think watching that and doing a first impressions would probably you wouldn't be the only person who wanted to see it. So, thanks for giving that to everybody else who's going to want it. Yakuman with £5 said, I'm smoking my first cigarette tonight. Rant about smoking, your history with it. Why is it so cool? How to be cool doing it. Best brand. Don't smoke. Don't do it. It's not good. It looks cool. It feels great when you're drunk. I'll say that. I like having a cigarette when I'm like really plastered or on acid. If I'm on acid, I'll fucking go through a pack of cigarettes like it's nothing. Been a while since I've done acid. Been a while. Been a hot minute. Yakuman says, damn, now my super chat feels measly. Puny. Oh no. Well, JNS really wants that 3-episode take on 100 Girlfriends. So what is doing that to me? Oh, it's that guy over there. I see. I should have been watching my back. Can't believe I let the same thing kill me twice. But the first time I really hadn't understood what was happening, so I'm not too surprised. I can warp, just get out of the cave because I can't do it while the boss is still alive. Oh. I had tricked myself into thinking I had teleported underground. Alright, let's get the fuck out of this area. Shall we? Let's get back to the normal game. Not just me running around an over-leveled area getting my ass kicked over and over again. Oh man. I'm definitely going to make Bird watch the 100 Girlfriends show with me. Because I need to know his thoughts on it too. I need a straight man's thoughts. I can't, I don't think I'll be able to totally understand it. And represent it correctly. On smoking, it's bad for you. I'm especially not allowed to do it anymore because like nicotine, I mean, aside from it just being bad for you anyways, it's especially bad for you if you're taking estrogen like I am. So I'm trying to stay away. It's hard. The allure is definitely there. But what's kind of gotten me past cigarettes is that I smoke so much weed, and so my brain has really come to associate the act of smoking with like getting high. And so when I smoke cigarettes and I don't get high, it's like, oh no, it's doing a different thing, And that other thing, it's kind of overpowering. Like the head rush from smoking. It's like, it either feels like nothing or it feels like too much, I definitely do it more if I'm stressed out or like in a really like depressive, place or state of mind. I'm trying to think. It's actually been a while. I was smoking, I feel like back last year. Yeah, when Bird and I were traveling for work, we were smoking quite a bit. I was definitely smoking cigarettes for most of that. Not like more than a couple a day, but, I was consistently doing it. I think we might have got up to a point of doing like four cigarettes a day, which is not a ton by smoker standards, but it's still not good for you at all, and it can still feel like kind of a lot. But yeah, I mean, we always smoke American Spirits. Bird gets the turquoise ones, are his favorite. He pulls the filters out, so he smokes them filterless. I don't know why. I'm sure he could explain it. I'm sure he has explained it to me, but I'm not going to try to, recall his words, and rather let him explain it himself. But yeah, I've pretty much quit entirely. He also vapes. My history with smoking. The first time I smoked a cigarette was when I went to the Philippines and visited Ghost Lightning. And I had my first cigarette and my first beer, and neither one of them was a pleasant experience for me at the time. When my mom was in the hospital with cancer, I started taking my dad's cigarettes and smoking them like standing in the bathroom window, just because I was like so frazzled, and it would help with my nerves a little bit. And then, you know, I was basically just smoking like once or twice a day for a while, like for years. And I would be like on and off, but when Ben Saint lived with me, he and I would go and smoke on the back porch all the time. So I started smoking more because I would hang out with him and smoke in the backyard. We would just spit all over the place because I have a big time spit when I smoke cigarettes. So, you know, cool as smoking the cigarette might look, the spitting does not look cool. But like, I can't help it. I'll spit constantly while I'm smoking. But yeah, so Ben and I would just fucking spit around the backyard, smoking our cigarettes. And then, you know, again, I was like on and off quitting. There was a period of time where I was smoking blunts all the fucking time. Like when I first spent way too much money on weed, it was because I was smoking like 10 blunts a day, which is preposterous if you don't know how much weed that uses up. And I was doing it largely by myself. Like, not rotating it or anything, just sitting there smoking blunts all day. Yeah, I just didn't know what I was doing. Didn't really understand the cost of my actions. Big turtle. Do I kill the big turtle? He's so cool. I can't bring myself to kill a tortoise, even in a video game. But these stupid sheep are gonna get it. Oh, no, they're not. They roll. They are rolling sheep. Forgot about the rolling sheep. That one got it, though. Hey, look, it's a shiny tree. The plot of Elden Ring, basically. Uh-oh. Oh, there's people fighting shit over there. I don't want to fuck with that whole little skirmish going on. What's it like to kiss a smoker? Smoky. I don't really mind the taste or the smell of cigarette smoke. Obviously, it bothers some people a lot. To me, it's nostalgic. My dad was a big-time smoker growing up, so I'm not, like, unused to it. I think that's the main reason people end up smoking is that they are familiar with it. Which I think it's probably for the best that the new generations seem really put off by the whole existence of cigarettes. Like, young people don't seem to smoke very much. I mean, a lot of it is the laws have made it harder for them too, but it also depends on where you live. Like when I lived in New York State, you don't really know what it's like. I mean, you don't really want to necessarily. I don't know how I would describe it besides that it tastes like smoke. I don't know, go kiss a smoker. Find out for yourself. I'm not good at describing things like sensory description. It's the biggest struggle I have with writing fiction. Is that you know, I'm not good at that part of the metaphors. All right. I'm now desperately again in need. Once again, I am coming to you begging for money in exchange for my words. Even though JNES already made me like more money than I normally would make on a stream, but that comes at a cost. I have to watch anime. And God knows, watching anime is, you know, There's a reason I ask for money before I do it, you know? There's a reason I have to be paid up front for that kind of thing. I'm sure the anime is probably fine. It's probably interesting in some way. If my brother liked it, I can't believe it's just gonna be shit. Because he's got pretty good taste. Temp Anon seems to be the only person in chat right now. Did everybody else is a sleepy peepee? Everybody else fall to sleep and now? Everybody's just soothed by the nice ring of the Elden? I can't put this show on all by myself, y'all. This is a conversation. We all gotta be in this together, you know. We gotta get down in the hot tub together, get smooth. You don't got very much to say? That's okay. I just need to know that you're breathing. Astro Ghost says, hello, sirs. How many sirs are around? You got me, who's a lady. Anathemi Badesu, I'm not going to assume your gender. I think you're a guy, though. I think you said that when I met you. Aggie Dine says, I live. We live, misty tales and poems lost, all the bliss and beauty will be gone. Will my weary soul find release for a while? At the moment of death I would smile. It's the triumph of shame and disease. In the end, raise my hands and praise the day. Break the spell, show me a way. In decay, the flame of Troy will shine bright. Shit. That was the hook from And Then There Was Silence by Blind Guardian. The chorus, I guess I should call it a chorus. It's not really a hook. It's like a whole minute long. Well, I was writing another super chat, but I guess if I have to type in a regular chat, that's funny. I like to engage. I'm worried I'm becoming desperately alone in the digital age and feel like I'm flailing to connect to people. I understand that. I understand that very well. You know, I've kind of... I think oh, I don't have the horse yet, god damn it. I think it can be very difficult to feel like anybody is in the same situation as you. And especially, like, the reason I had to call on everybody to chat, you know, I appreciate you, Temp Anon, saying things in the chat, you know, keeping it active, trying to reach out. I'll look up and I see 20 viewers, you know, and I see one person chatting, and I can't help but think, like, are there really 20, like, who else is there? What are they getting out of it? What are they watching for? You know, are they having fun? Are they just popping their head in? Are they going to pop back out? Like, how do I keep them around? How do I keep people engaged in what I'm doing and, like, know what their state of mind is, you know? Like, it's hard for me to communicate to as many people as possible if I don't know what the sort of gestalt is, you know? With a lot of these live streams I've been doing lately, I spend like the first half of the day basically just trying to figure out what is it gonna be. Like, because there's a lot of options. You know, I could talk about fucking literally anything on here. So I spend the morning kind of looking at the internet, wondering what are people talking about? What's interesting? What would my audience want to hear about? And the biggest difficulty I have is that a lot of my audience is just not investigating the stuff I am at all. So I feel like I have to, like, I'm always introducing my audience to everything I talk about, you know? And I never know what they're watching. Like, what are you guys doing that like, if I engaged with it, then you'd be like, oh, snap, Trixie's doing my thing, you know? But, like, it's usually me kind of introducing people to stuff they've never heard of, and you know, like their interest is basically couched in my own. My passion for it is driving their passion for it. And I'm okay with that. But it does make it a little bit more difficult for me to approach talking about subjects where, like, with the whole Kendrick and Drake beef, right? Like, I basically came at that from the approach of assuming my audience knows nothing. Like, my audience doesn't even listen to hip-hop. And even then, I feel like it's hard for me to dumb down what I'm talking about enough to be completely clear to those people. You know, like, I kind of have to, it would just take me forever to explain every single thing I'm saying in more depth, you know. But, like, I'm also, like, where I'm getting my information is from channels that just assume you know what's going on and are not even doing that, you know. Like, they're not even approaching the level of hand-holding that I am, because there is a large community of people who do care about this stuff and are talking about it, but there's already voices in that community, you know, and, like, I'm just basically talking to my own audience about stuff that, again, they probably wouldn't even know about if not for me talking about it. So I would love to know more, like, how would I reach my audience on, like, their own level? But it's so spread out because my audience is aged, you know, like, anime fans don't usually stay anime fans forever, and there's usually only a period of like 2 years where they're most intensely into it, or maybe they'll come and go, get more in, get less in, you know. Partly it depends on if anything interesting is happening. You know, I felt like it's a strong bet when I talk about Free Ren. Like, it's such a runaway hit with anime fans that, like, it's hard to imagine there's anything my audience would connect on more than Free Ren. Like, you know, and Elden Ring is another good one. Like, the reason I'm willing to stream this game specifically is just like, well, I know my audience likes Elden Ring because I've been talking about Souls games forever. I've got Souls videos with tons of views, you know, so that's where I'm trying to kind of get on the same page as everybody else. Am I into emulation? Yes, I love emulation. I haven't gotten into it on the advanced level of, like, figuring out how to do difficult emulation or, like, modified emulation or anything like that. But, you know, I've been emulating old games since I was a kid. Just reading the chat for a moment. You've been reading Confessions of a Mask. Forget the writer, but it's a Japanese homosexual coming-of-age story. That sounds interesting. Sounds like my speed. Tell me if it's good. JNS says, I'm still listening, but I'll be doing schoolwork and washing up dishes. Hey, that's a responsible way to listen to a live stream. If I listen to anything long form, I usually, you know, I get impatient and I start doing other stuff with my hands, you know, cleaning up the room and shit. Or, fucking choking the chicken. Jane with another Australian $2.99. What's a list you regret taking too long to make? A list I regret taking too long to make. I don't know if this is in reference to something I just said earlier and, like, that I meant something specific, but in terms of lists that have taken me too long to make, I mean, I think in the early part of my YouTube career, I had a misunderstanding about catalog that, like, that my goal was for every video I made to be the final video of that, like the final take on the topic, so to speak. And particularly when it comes to lists and listing videos, like, I wanted to compete with the likes of Watch Mojo or Misty Cernexia, where I felt like these people, they would make a video like top 10 best looking anime, and it's like, you know, just whatever 10 anime have like the most search results on Google, you know, when you search for like good looking show or something. Just, it was never like a thorough dive. And I think there was a lot of hubris on my part of thinking that it would be like feasible to watch every possible contender for something like that before ever making a list about it. It should have been that I just said like, hey, here's the best of what I know right now, and then I'll make another list in a year when I've got more. Like, you know, if I just viewed each list as something that was going to necessarily have to evolve over time because my opinion's going to change, more stuff is going to exist, I'm going to find out about stuff I just couldn't have found out about before, you know. And there's no way I have time to have seen everything. So I would say any lists. Like, the only lists I really ended up making are... Like, early on, I was doing, like, you know, top anime of 2016 or 2018, and for those lists, I literally sampled everything that came out that year, which was a painstaking process. I think it was worth it in the case of those lists, because it was a finishable goal. But there were a ton of lists I could have made that I just was so obsessed with, like, trying to find everything that could possibly be on the list that the list never got made, or, you know, or eventually was like a vlog sometime later, but not the fully edited thing it could have been originally, you know. Hopefully that answers the question, and that I didn't forget something else I meant by that. Got some more super chat here. Roger Ramos with 199. Have you ever seen The Sopranos? 10 out of 10. I have only seen the first, I want to say, 5 episodes, and fairly recently. And I like it. I think it's good. I don't know if I see the level of hype that it's at. I will even say I see especially how good it must have been for the time. Like, when I consider that there really wasn't... Like, it basically created the type of TV that it is, you know? In that sense, I don't know if that's entirely true, but it's definitely got that reputation as being, like, the big HBO show that put HBO on the map, that made, like, violent, adult, film-like television, like, viable. And it's interesting because, like, it's simultaneously, like, feels like a high-budget TV show and a low-budget movie at the same time when you're watching it. And, like, it's, you know, it's very much... It's couched in a lot of stereotypes of gangster fiction, and it's also obviously trying to analyze those and, like, say a little bit more about them in more of a direct way. And I appreciate that. Again, I guess if I don't seem blown away, and I've only seen, again, 5 or 6 episodes, I just feel like enough of what's good about it has also been good about other stuff since then, that it's not, like, mind-blowing. In the sense that maybe The Wire was mind-blowing to me, you know, watching that for the first time, like, 10 years ago. God, more than 10 years ago. 15 years ago, almost. But I'm interested to watch more of it. I ended up watching it because of the fact that Riley and Mint have been watching it together. And they've been watching it because they became friends with Ethan Van Sciver, and he is obsessed with The Sopranos. He, he mentions it constantly. He's always referencing it. He basically sees his life as The Sopranos. So, yeah, that's the main thrust of why I ended up seeing any of it at all. And I thought it was interesting. I like the therapist character. I like the dynamic between Tony and the therapist. I was kind of surprised how much of the show is just him in therapy, like, long ass scenes of just, you know, therapy conversation. But I guess I'd have to see more of it to truly appreciate the genius of its storytelling. Oh yeah, these guys are just gonna come back to life. Fuck this. You watch stuff like Aria and Strawberry Panic because of my lists. I can't remember what list I would have mentioned Strawberry Panic on. Maybe the, like, 250 plus anime recommendations list or something. Oh shit, I've been invaded by a fucking... no. No. Shit, shit, shit. Oh, he's talking. Creepy. Wish I was good at this game. Oh, who's this? Oh, he's helping. Alright, yeah, get him, guy. Where the fuck did you come from? Oh yeah, I remember that guy. I think you're I thought I had to talk to him for him to help me in this fight. I missed. You got this, homie. No, not healing. I think he got the heal anyway. Fuck, I drew aggro. I only have one flask, so you're really gonna have to do the heavy lifting here, samurai dude. Damn it. It's really hard to aim with the samurai sword. Yes, got him. Haha, get fucked. Victory is mine. Ooh, I got a cool thing for that. I got a sword. Let's check it out. I can't use it. Jesus Christ. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I can use that for a hot minute. Well, that was neat. I accomplished something, kind of. I've just been running around since I started, like, an hour ago. I mean, I picked up some interesting items and stuff, but I truly have been fucking around. Don't forget my weapons, Ash of War. Oh yeah, I did forget my weapons, Ash of War. Hey, homie, thanks for the help.
Just joining the fray, tarnish.
Pretty much.
Well, you fought Nereus and survived. That alone deserves commendation.
You've been playing Yakuza Kiwami 2 and just rewatched Ghibli movie Ocean Waves. It's been giving me big weeb that romanticizes Japan feelings. That's funny. I haven't played the madness precludes it. Yeah, you talk too slow, buddy. The only Yakuza game I've played is the first one, and it was there's a YouTuber, he's just called Hero now. He used to be called Hyperbit Hero. He has a show called Your Next Favorite where he'll talk about games and franchises that like just kind of are underrated. And this was right, I honestly think this video contributed a lot to Yakuza blowing up in the US because it was like his most successful video, and it came out right before the franchise like really started gaining legs in the States again. And you know, him and the Gaming Brit, who both talked about it, they were very insistent that like you got to play these in order. You got to start from the first one. Don't start from the remake. You know, you got to do it all in. You got to do it correctly. And so I was like, all right. So I started the first one. You know, I played it for like 6 hours, and I like it. But it's really hard to play a PS2 game with like shitty loading and, you know, like not the great. Just I've felt the age of the game too much. And it's not that I can't stomach old games with some stuff like that, but I just was like, why? You know, I could be playing a new game that doesn't have these problems right now. And they've remade these games to not have these problems. So I don't know what argument exists for why you should go play original Yakuza as opposed to the remake of it, but I'm going to go ahead and say don't. So yeah, at some point I might check out all them remakes and all their prequels and sequels of the remakes and all that shit. But you know, people talk about those games. They always talk about how they're these massive time sinks, and I'm like, well, that's the least appealing aspect to me. Like, shit, I should have realized I didn't have a flask left. Fuck. Yeah, anytime somebody's talking about how like the appeal of a game is that it's 120 hours of content, I'm like, please no. Can I get a fucking 20-minute game, please. Like, it's the whole reason I haven't beat this fucking game yet. I already put, obviously I just started this character today, but like I've put fucking 35 hours into this game and only seen probably less than a tenth of the content in this game. That's me trying my hardest not to exaggerate, but I'm probably still underestimating how much. God damn it, these guys are relentless with the fucking throwing. Fucking little bastard. I fucked that up. Man, I need a different weapon. I suck with this sword. I keep forgetting that like it has to be kind of precise because I'm used to using just like the biggest sword possible and just whacking guys over the head with it. I'm used to having to aim my blade in a Souls game. I have never heard of Bryan Sanderson, so no, I have not read any of his novels. I don't read. Except for, you know, the internet. I described this earlier, maybe you weren't here, but my day is I look at Twitter and YouTube all day when I'm not streaming, you know, like going, like if I'm not outside doing things or like making things, I just spend all day on YouTube and Twitter. That is all I do. They're the only algorithms that understand me. And Spotify, but, you know, that's more of like a chill out and smoke weed and listen to music type situation. Alright, let's see if there's a fucking boss and if I can beat it in this weird cave. Who is this guy? Grave Warden Duelist. Okay, he looks easy. Yeah, I remember this guy. Come on, big boy. Throw a swing or something. Thank you. That, I was hoping you wouldn't hit me with it, but I'm probably not going to win this. But we'll give it our best shot. Man, they really must have fucking fixed his AI. I remember him being a lot stupider last time I did this. Shit. I also need to remember that the fucking dodge button and the jump button are not where I expected them to be. Oh god. Okay, well, that was bad. That was not even a good attempt. I need super chats for energy. I don't even care about the rant requests. I just need them to feel the power coursing through my veins. You know, I just need that sweet gold nectar. My eyes have turned into Scrooge McDuck eyes. You know, he's got the... That is Scrooge McDuck, right? Whose eyes turn into, like, dollar signs. Because he's so goddamn greedy. All he thinks about is money all day. I want to be that guy. Scrooge McDuck. He seems happy. Shit. I will read that super chat when I'm not in imminent life-threatening danger. And also not pressing the wrong buttons again. I should pick up that bloodstain, probably. Alright. Come on, you big lug. Oh, my timing is so fucking bad. I'm gonna go, like, play the levels in the normal order and maybe, like, gather some souls and level myself up once or twice or something. You know, like, play the game normal. Alright, Yakuman with the 10 with the 10 pound says, is you making more on streams over Patreon a matter of brand? A witch that drops great videos and streams herself ranting in the woods. Even if I'm spending more, it makes more sense this way. Maybe. I'm going to tell you what it is. It is interaction. It is, it's, right now, the only people consuming my content, for the most part, are people who really like me. And people who really like me don't really care about what kind of stuff I'm making. Now, the reason for me to make stuff that everybody would like is so that more people will watch me. But it's not really working. Like, I've made all kinds of stuff in all kinds of different styles, and I've only seen diminishing returns. You know, like, putting more effort in doesn't really work. Putting more, talking about broader subjects doesn't really work. Like, nothing really is cracking me through to the other side that way. And it's difficult for me because I get so worried about money that I've never just like settled into a groove, and so it's hard for me to like grow something, you know? Like, if so I'm making these anime videos that come out every couple of weeks on the We Watch Anime channel, right? Wrote 24 of them ahead of time. So it's like every time I release one, I'm just wondering, is this going to be the one that finally catches on and like makes it so all the other ones get more popular? You know, like if just one of them blew up, the next one would have way better odds. And the previous ones would have better odds, you know, like it just would raise, the whole channel would grow if just one video took off. But until that happens, I don't make any extra money. You know, like the videos are still just going to the same couple thousand people who are kind of willing to click on whatever I do. So, you know, it would be one thing if those people were so excited about that content that they were sharing it around to everybody and like it was growing me that way. But the impression I've gotten from a lot of my longtime fans about the new content I've been making is that they're just kind of like, yeah, this is the type of stuff you used to do. You know, it's cool that you're doing it again. I am enjoying it. But like nobody's impression is like, oh man, this is going to get you as popular as you used to be, you know. So I'm more considering when it comes to the anime content, I have to lean in on the videos being really different, like as opposed to them being kind of like what I used to do or kind of like what other people are doing now. I think I just have to start making the scripts that are really, really different, you know. I've kind of dropped some hints about my next one, which is Jujutsu Kaisen versus Evangelion Storytelling Spirals. It's an idea nobody else will ever have because it barely makes sense, but it's interesting and I think people will like it, and it has a lot more potential than, you know, anything that is more normal, I think, to click with the people who are actually watching my content right now. Not a prospective audience that I think exists out there. Like, you know, there's no reason to think the videos I've published on We Watch Anime right now wouldn't appeal to every anime fan. But they're not reaching every anime fan. So I have to operate from the position of like, well, what's going to hit the people that I am reaching the hardest? Like, if I'm only reaching a couple thousand people, but I'm reaching them all the time, you know, every single time I make content, I'm always reaching 2,000 people, then what's going to reach those 2,000 people the most strongly? You know, like what's going to make them feel the most connected? And the answer is either a really emotional, long-winded, you know, getting into my head type video scripted about anime, which I have some of those, but they're going to take some time to make, or just the most direct connection you can have. Literally wire straight into my brain, hey, you and I were in the same place at the same time, now I can get your up-to-the-minute thoughts on this thing, you know? So it's that's pretty much where I think where I'm aiming right now is just to make it better for the people who are here and not worry about bringing more people here, because hopefully the better it is for the people here, the more other people will just be drawn in. I want you obsessed, you know. For me as a content creator, the best place for me to have you is basically feeling like you need me in your life, like you cannot subsist without me, and therefore, you know, I don't know what compels people to spend money other than like an odd combination of guilt and, you know, personal fulfillment, belonging, whatever it is, you know. Whatever it is you're getting out of it that causes you to pay me is what causes me to keep giving you what you're getting out of it. And it's fun for me. But I could have... I guess the way I would put it is the only reason money has to get involved is that I could have fun in so many ways, you know? Doing it in a way that's fulfilling for other people. That's the secret to making it a career. So, like, where is that cross-section? I know, like, right now, my streams, I talk way too much about the theory of the streams and do too much begging for money. Nobody likes to hear those things. But I have to be really insistent until the thing is self-perpetuating, you know? Like, at some point, everybody will understand what's going on and know the score, and I won't really have to explain it, because I'll have done this every day. And, you know, anybody who didn't see it the first time will have seen it by the fucking 45th time. So, you know, I'm just going to basically be incredibly relentless on cramming streams down your throat until I start growing again. But yeah, this is it's been nice. I mean, it's simultaneously, so like I'm generating money faster than I have been in a long time, but I haven't seen any of it because I don't get paid until the next month, you know. So like everything I've made for the month of May, I see in June. And that's also been part of keeping me hungry to do this, is like it's going to be so long before I even see any of this money I'm making that you know, it's kept me hungry. I can't imagine that I would stop just because I finally get that money either. I'm so broke. I need this to go on. I need this gravy train to stay rolling as long as possible. But, you know, right now my bank account is showing a strong $40. So... be really excited when that fucking revenue comes charging in. Shit. Yakuman says, I spend money because I really, really like your stuff, new and old. I just want to fund my favorite internet ranty person. Same reason I patron Dick Masterson. You need the money more, so I pay more. I thank you very much for that. I am always curious. Anybody who can afford to pay me, I'm always curious what you do. I know it's wrong to ask. I know I can't start interrogating people about their money situation because then it gets weird. But I do always wonder about it. I like to imagine it's always a government job. Like, basically... like, because most of the time that I discovered it is, but like I like to think that everyone who works for the government is also like that. You have to be of the mentality to work for the government that you're trying to like help the wheels of society turn. So, you know, like I think those people are more likely to patron the arts because they feel like somebody has to do it, you know, in the same way that somebody has to run society. And most people are just like, well, it doesn't have to be me, you know. Hopefully, I like to think that you're making an investment not just in there being more of my content, but also more of my influence to inspire other people to make more content like that, you know? Like, whoever has been my patron over the years essentially made analysis content possible on YouTube. Because I was the first person, not only the first person to, like, call what I do analysis on YouTube, but I was the first person with a successful Patreon doing it. Was one of the first people with a successful Patreon. So the entire model of internet, you know, of internet content creation independently funded, especially on YouTube, you know, my patrons personally are responsible for making that a thing. So yeah. Y'all are some of the most influential people in YouTube. Anybody who pays me, I mean. Good job. I know it certainly worked out for me. I was talking about this on the last stream, how, you know, making content and influencing people, and then eventually that influence spreading to a point where there's just people who've never even heard of me making content that is obviously influenced by me. Aside from being gratifying in a personal sense, it means that there's way more content that I like that exists now, so... You know, it is a self-perpetuating, you know, form of entertainment, I guess. Cycle of entertainment, is that what I meant? Whatever. Killing wolves in Elden Ring. Running around, slaying the wolves. Killing all the wolves everywhere. Slaying wolves in Elden Ring. Nathmi Badesu says, similar situation for me, software dev, corporate, not government. I live comfortably, so it feels like a good use of money is supporting creators so they can live comfortably too. That is very nice. I also, despite how little money I have, I keep acting like I don't understand it. Like I'm not a patron of like 10 different creators. No, I'm being totally asinine. Just because I don't like do super chats. But I actually am a patron of Dick Masterson and of fucking Zen Huxtable. I just patroned Second Wind. What else? I'm patroning a few. Matthew Matosis probably still. I don't know. I patron a bunch of shit. So I don't know why I'm acting like I don't do that. Sometimes I feel like different sectors of my brain have a different impression of me and what I have done. Yakuman says, I cook in a restaurant and stuff. Also, I'm talking with a publisher on my first book. Hey, nice. I just only spend money on independent creators and ones I really like. Pirating for life. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, shit, that's awesome. Congratulations on writing a book. Damn, I fucked that guy up. And then I got hit with a cannon. Digital Devil Girl had said, there definitely was a point in my life where I watched and listened to literally everything you did, but honestly, it's not personal that I don't anymore. I don't do that for any content creator. Oh yeah, there's too much. Not just of me, but of everything, you know. I don't blame you for that at all. I used to have certain creators I followed everything they do, although it also depends on like what kind of era they're in, you know, like if they're making stuff that's really for me. Like I think of Yahtzee Croshaw because he's somebody who, you know, like I said, I just patroned Second Wind, which is the new channel that he's on. And like for a long time, yeah, I would follow literally anything he did, where, like, you know, the main videos, his side videos, I would read all of his written articles, I would read his books, I would try out his video games, you know, when he did Let's Drown Out, the podcast series, I listened to all of that, usually multiple times. So, you know, he wasn't, it's never been quite as prolific as I am, but close. You know, one of the big influences on me being as prolific as I am. He's more prolific in the sense of making bigger projects more often than I do. But you know, when he moved to America and he started live streaming on Twitch, and he started hanging out with like a bunch of people I don't know or care about, you know, and like this, I would say, like, the moment I tuned in to a Yahtzee stream where he was playing Yakuza and it was just like him and some other people kind of giggling at funny stuff going on, I was like, this is no longer my type of content, you know, like, I'm fine with it, this is cool, like, I'm sure this is fun for a lot of people to just like have fun with Yahtzee on a live stream, because that'd never really been a thing before, but it was not what I was coming to Yahtzee for, you know. So I lost track for a while, and even I wasn't following The Escapist for a while, so I hadn't even, there's probably a decent chunk of like even his main reviews that I still have not seen. There's a few games I haven't played, some books I haven't read, you know. And then when Second Wind started up, it was just like it's not that his content has changed dramatically since starting it, but the fact that the context is new made me curious again. You know, like, it made me start watching his content regularly again, just because I feel like he's in a different era and has become like enough of a different person in the time that I wasn't following him that it's like newly interesting. But I'm also, again, not watching everything he does, where he's in all these live streams with the other Second Wind guys, you know, playing all these other games, and I don't necessarily think his chemistry with those people is that interesting or like draws me in the way Let's Drown Out did. So, you know, it's, again, content I'm sure works for a lot of people, but not for me, and I'm totally fine with that. He's made enough content that if he never made anything ever again, I'd still always be like, yeah, Yahtzee legend, one of my favorites ever, you know. But I don't think we have to worry about him not making content anytime soon. Yahtzee not watching TV or movies is so crazy to you. It's not too, I don't really watch TV or movies either. Like, it's pretty rare. It's not like I never do it, like a policy thing, but I'm trying to think of even one movie I've seen this year, and I'm struggling. Most of the TV and movies I end up seeing is like over Bird's shoulder, because he sits there and watches stuff on his phone like all day long. You know, like, he'll come home from work, he'll watch a bunch of YouTube shorts, and then once he's kind of like decompressed enough, he'll start watching movies or shows. But he'll just constantly have something on. And I, on the other hand, again, YouTube and Twitter. My life is almost exclusively, you know, if I'm not going outside or making something, YouTube, Twitter, back and forth all day long. And there's not even that much going on in those places. I'll just click back and forth on them to confirm that there's still nothing happening. That guy really fucked me up. God damn. He got me good. I don't even remember a steak of Barca that I passed recently. I only just remembered what that means. Like, it keeps asking me which one I want, and I had forgotten what the difference was until just now. This game is like slowly coming back to me as I run around in a totally random fashion. Where the fuck? Oh, I'm up here. Okay. Okay, I get it now. Nope, I don't want to be right next to these guys. That's the guy who fucked me up over there. Alright. I need more super chats to rant about, because I've run out of topics. Oh no, he saw me again. I was foolish and did not keep my eyes on him. I knew he was a problem, and I chose to ignore the problem. The music is implying I've escaped his aggro range. Alright. This looks dicey, though. This whole little encampment here. I remember this. Yeah, there's an item on the back of this cart. Do I try to run up and grab it and just say fuck it and run away? Or will I get slain immediately? Let's avoid that for now. We'll come back to that. I really gotta stop fucking around and go do like some easier shit. Some like actual start of game. I've done a little bit of it, but I've been doing a lot of just remembering the map. Somber smithing stone. Somber, I am somber. There's a darkness that's on the rise. Oh, I thought you were a painting, my dude. Fucking just standing there all still with your shield and shit. Thanks for the butterfly, bitch. Oh, there's a man on this bridge. I don't want to fight that man. Keep me away from that man. Get the horsey. I think I have to go over there. I really thought that you got the horse just by sitting at 3 bonfires. Like, I don't know if this has changed in updates or if I'm just wrong or if it's like a specifically the third, like the one you would normally encounter third. But I had always thought that once you sat at 3 sites of grace, that's what they're called, that what's-her-fuck would show up and just like give you the horse. So I guess I've been wrong. Shit! No! No, I just want to kill the dung beetle. I just wanted to kill the dung beetle. Okay, it is a specific one. Okay, well, we'll go do that then. I mean, that's kind of where I was headed because I suspected that was the case, but I could swear when I first played this game that it was just like whichever third one you went to was your ticket. I forgot that Grace was underground here. Hey, Anatheme Badesu with another $5. Thank you kindly, my friend. Rant about how the internet has changed the prevalence of pornography in our society. Oh my god. I mean, I think I'm fascinated with the state of pornography and with the conversation surrounding pornography right now. Because, how do I put it? Here's what I think is so great about the information age, right? Like, it used to be that like when something is bad, like we realize collectively as a society, or like the smart people in society realize that like something is unhealthy, you know? They kind of like try to come up with a way they can trick everybody else into thinking so too. Like religion, right? They'll go, all right, sleeping with people a lot gives you STDs really bad. Like you will definitely die. You'll get cursed by God if you sleep with too many people. And, you know, that shit rung true for people because they were dying of STDs, you know. So they were like, shit, this makes sense. But then at some point, you know, science... We fixed that problem, kind of. You know, we came up with contraceptives. We heavily mitigated the STD thing. You know, we understand scientifically a lot of this shit now. So we're like, okay. So we don't need all of that, you know, all of that guilt and fear that we've had towards sex that religion warned us about. That's what people are thinking as they go into the coon-brained modern age, But exposure has also taught people of the reasons that these things can just be psychologically dangerous. The many perils of sexuality as just something that you encounter constantly. The problems of being coon-brained. And so I think I've seen this evolution happen over the last 20 years where we went from a period of like feeling liberation, like sexual liberation through the internet of like, yes, the porn isn't being hidden from us anymore. Like we can all go and be as horny as we want. And, for people like me who were pretty young growing up on the internet, I was afraid of pornography, so I wasn't really seeking it out when I was like actually a kid. But like I knew about it, the hyper presence of sexuality through the internet. I was aware of it, and when I was an adult, I became very coon-brained for a while, just looking at way too much internet pornography. And it does. It fucks with your mind in a lot of ways that aren't healthy. So I think now we've got generations coming up with just in a world of infinite porn, in a world where like it's so easy to suddenly become coon-brained that a lot more people are analyzing it. A lot more people are thinking about the problem, and really considering, this guy's going to fight me. I thought maybe he would want a conversation, but I guess not. So the porn, the internet rather, it truly freed the porn, and that has been both a I would call it a blessing and a curse, but I think it's ultimately a blessing because even the negative part we couldn't have truly understood. If we'd spent forever just thinking the only problem with coon brain is is that it's like religiously bad or immoral, we never would have learned the real depths of what too much pornography does to a society. So it's better that we know, but we had to learn the hard way. Rocky the Robot with 50 sec. I don't remember what SEK stands for. But thank you. Thoughts on Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 being a million times better than the first one? How did this happen? Oh, man. Well, we did talk about Jujutsu Kaisen a lot on the We Watch Anime channel. And I watched its evolution, and I kind of touch on this a little bit in the video I've got coming out, the Jujutsu Kaisen versus Evangelion one. There's a couple of big things that I think make it get so good, but ads are going to run in 4 seconds, so I'm going to wait a second before I answer that. And now there's some people watching ads, but I don't know if Rocky the Robot, who asked for the super chat, is stuck watching an ad. So that's why I gotta be. I don't want to answer your question while you're in the middle of watching an ad. All right, we'll assume everybody's made it back from the ad now. Yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen. I think part of it is that the manga, it has this way of expanding the scope of the story with every new arc, where it starts off feeling. To me, what felt weird to me about Jujutsu Kaisen from the beginning is that it's very close and personal with its characters, and the conflicts don't feel as big as you are told they are at first. Like, you're being told that, like, these characters are at, like, this world-class power level, and it's hard to really feel that in the start because they're just, like, fighting, one another, or there's not, like, that high-stakes feeling that you get from the Shibuya arc, And I think it takes a while for like the consequences or even the meaning of like a lot of the powers and what you're being told to really sink in. And during season 2 is when that happens. It's a big part of it is just locking away Satoru Gojo. Like, I think that Jujutsu Kaisen was kind of cursed by the fact that the author came up with a character whose power was so definitional, like so just overpowered in context of the show's universe, that the whole show had to become about how to deal with that power. And once it starts addressing that concern, that's when the show gets really interesting. It's like, you've kind of got this feeling like nothing really matters until Gojo really has to get involved. And then once he does, and he gets, like, trapped, then it's like the stakes have suddenly jumped. And then, of course, all kinds of crazy shit happens. The other part of it is that really bad stuff starts happening to Yuji. And I just think Yuji, he's very boring at the start. He comes off as such a de jure shonen protagonist. There's just nothing that, like, sets him apart and makes him special. Until he is, like, forced to have all this blood on his hands, and that's when it starts to be like, yes, you've suffered enough to be the guy that you are, and to be interesting as that guy. So I think that helps a lot too. But also just the fact that the first season was so fucking successful meant that they were going to give their all to the second one. Like, it was already a hugely popular manga when the first season was created, but even the staff could not have been as in love with it as they would be knowing where the story was going to go later, and having their chops figured out from the first season, seeing the success of it and attracting so many animators, so many high profile animators to the project because they know it's going to be the big thing. I guess the weirdest part is that, like, One Punch Man Season 2 sucked so much. Like with One Punch Man, they treated it like a sure thing from the start, right? Like, they knew this was going to be a big fucking deal. So, like, they poured everything into it, and it was just, like, uncompromisingly badass in the first season. And then, I don't know, they waited too long. They couldn't get the same people. Maybe the producers were just like, we don't need to spend that much money to get the same reward. I don't know why Season 2 went the way it did. But with Jujutsu Kaisen, it was clearly, like, I think on this, maybe not on the exact same level, but they definitely knew it was going to be a sure thing for popularity when they made the first season. I just think that after it actually existed, like, animators who knew that, like, Season 2 was going to be the most popular, like, the craziest anime possible, they were just really excited about getting to work on it, And so it became that everybody was vying for a spot on this show. I really, I don't think it can be understated either how much, like, the clout matters to animators. Not just in the sense of, like, being respected, but also in the sense that you get more positions. If more people have seen your work, you'll just get more work. Like, people know you do good work because they've seen it, so they're like, okay, we got to get that person over here, So with Jujutsu Kaisen, it became basically a way for everybody to advertise. All these animators to be like, hey, I'm badass, check it out, I did that scene in Jujutsu Kaisen, What is it? Oh no, I don't want to bleed. Don't bleed me. They bled my mama. Won't bleed me. Alright. I do really love that spooky little boing noise they've got in the soundtrack of this game. Alright, I know I can use arrows to deal with this thing. I thought that would work. Oh, hey, I've got a flame arrow. Oh, it did work. Okay, cool. Dope. I don't know how long that stays down for, but hopefully a second. Hey, I got a hello. I can say hello now. thought standing on this would make it go up. Maybe I have to hit it. Yeah, there we go. Does it help me to go up? No, it doesn't seem like it. Alright. Fuck you then. Oh, there's another. Get down, you bastard. Thank you. Safe passage. Oh, that didn't look safe actually. It looked like there was a bad guy going up. I see some hangers on the walls. There's got to be a better way to aim with this, right? That's surprisingly effective. I wouldn't think a guy made of stone would be so easy to hurt with metal arrows, but hey, I'll take it. Am I out? I'm out. Fuck. Yeah, skillful menu opening. Alright, is there any reason to get on this statue? Oh, another one, you little fucker. Oh, they're all over the place now. Great, great. I love that. Love it when they come out of fucking everywhere. God damn it. Do I think getting older is code for skinny? I've gotten thin. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Took a lot of work, but I did it. And I'm gonna keep it that way. Why I know Band-Aid? I actually don't know what you're referring to. If you mean why didn't I heal? I don't know, I didn't do it in time. I don't want to be down in this place no more. This isn't the cave I was looking for anyways. I wanted the easy cave, not the tough cave. Well, as always, I'll rant about anything anybody wants me to for a little bit of money. Even if it's the tiniest amount, it doesn't matter. I love money. It buys me caffeine and weed and food and my phone. All good things. Alright, that church. That's where I need to go. I literally keep forgetting that I have not even picked up the fucking horse yet. Hayden Decker with $2. Thank you very much. Rant about Elden Ring versus Demon Souls. Oh, hello, guy. I forgot about you. Well, they're very different. Demon Souls is the least open world of any of the, you know, FromSoft action RPGs. The most like straightforward arcade game. It feels like there's more of an optimal way to do everything in that game. Whereas in this one, you really can just fuck around like to an undescribable. I have been playing for 2 hours, and I have not had any sense of direction whatsoever into, like, I've played through all this before, so I kind of know what I'm doing. Like, I'm just fucking around, like, in places I've been, and I'm like, oh yeah, this thing, but like, you know, if I was playing Demon Souls, I would have had to by now beat 1-1. You know, I would have had to have gone to Boletaria Palace and at least beaten 1-1 or something. Like, it's still pretty open-ended. But this game is ridiculously open-ended. Demon Souls, I love all of the FromSoft game. Justice sent a $10 that just says Elden Ring and then in parentheses Elden Ring. I like that. And I've also got a $2 from Roger Rainbow's thoughts on 4chan. 4chan nowadays, will it die? I'll answer that momentarily. I'll say a little bit more about Elden Ring and Demon Souls. because I love all of these games. Demon Souls is one of my favorites because I feel like it is the most it's the most experimental in like an overall game sense, where like this game is very experimental, and I would say that it probably has like a greater number of ideas than Demon Souls does, but I think that those ideas are less individually consequential for the most part, where like stuff like world tendency from Demon Souls, or the whole structure of the 5 different paths, like all that stuff gives it a really unique vibe that none of the other games in the series has. And for the, that's maybe for the better. Like, it's really interesting the way the games have evolved. I don't think it would have been better for there to be another one that was built like Demon Souls, but because it has those unique aspects, it's still something you can go back to, and like, it doesn't feel like the existence of the newer games has made that one less relevant to play. Actually, that's kind of what makes the whole series special. I don't think any of them has ever erased the previous one. Where, like, there are some franchises where, like, you get to a certain point, and I was just saying this about Yakuza. Like, I really think it's hard to go back and play the first Yakuza because I just don't think it's well optimized for the PlayStation 2. There's a good reasons that game was remade. When it comes to Demon Souls, they remade it. Good reasons? I don't know. But, like, Demon Souls original is still a 10 out of 10 game. It always was. Like, it has not become less fun to play because of Elden Ring's existence. Because they're just such different games. I would probably rather play Elden Ring because it, like, the ways that it is modernized definitely make it, like, feel overall better. Like, kinesthetically better, I'll say. Like, the game feel is better. I love that I can jump. I love that I can run around this big open world. But again, it is so different. It feels nothing like Demon Souls. So to me, it's almost an apples and oranges, like, even if I might play this more readily, it doesn't mean that I like it more necessarily. It's just like more playable, but not better per se. They're all so good, with the exception of 2, but we don't have to talk about Dark Souls 2. Alright, I should get on this fucking horse. What button do I press for this? Horse button. Is it an inventory? Do I have to equip horse button? No, it's just like a constant thing, right? You just like whistle and horse come. I should have probably listened when she was telling me. I gotta equip it? Okay. Is it like in my bag? There we go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I got it. I couldn't remember how tactically this thing has to be used. Alright, I'm a horse. I'm on a horse. I can double jump on the horse. I've been just slowly walking around this game for 2 hours. And now I'm playing it the way it was meant to be played. With a horse. Feels like my whole life was a waste up until now. But it's okay, because the future is bright with a horse in it. Oh yeah, thoughts on 4chan nowadays. I will say, I literally got this exact same rant request yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? I went on a big 4chan rant. Like, I think it was yesterday. But that was mostly about my history with it. Not as much what it's about currently. Maybe this was you who asked for this, actually, Roger Ramos. Maybe you're just asking me for even more 4chan thoughts. Because I know you were around yesterday. Whatever the case, I actually can't remember the last time I've been on 4chan. It's been quite some time. To me, it seems pretty dead. Like, I mean, I can't speak for literally at this moment. It seemed so dead that I stopped checking it. So it's hard for me to say what it's like right now. Will it ever die? I mean, I'm surprised it's still up. Like, there's been so many times that we were told 4chan was going to be shut down. Like, when it changed owners and stuff, and they were like, oh, they can't afford it, they're going to close it, you know, and then, I don't know, I guess they just afforded more advertisers. I don't know who's using 4chan. My argument yesterday was that I think it's just a nostalgia property at this point. Like, there can't be new people going to 4chan because they, like, heard it's the hip thing to do, right? Roger Ramos said, "Me, lol. You're the one going." Well, what do you think of it right now? Like, I'm more curious to know. Do you think it's like just the same old shit it's been for years? Has it like evolved? Is there anything happening there? To me, it seems like a nostalgia platform. But like, so what I consider to be the power or appeal of 4chan is that like every opinion will be stated and represented on a topic, right? So like if a thread opens and the question is like, was this any good? The first two answers are going to be yes and no. Like immediately, somebody's just going to say in so many words yes and no as like the first two responses. And then from there you'll get the whole spectrum of other ideas in between. But they're the same ideas. Like it's the same stuff about every topic. And if you've been on 4chan like a couple of years, it starts to be like, yeah, I've read all this, we all know how opinions work. I don't know. It just gets to feel very tiring and starts to feel like the point of it is just to, see the layout once again and see words in that familiar order with the nice little pictures next to them and such. Talking about VTubers, that does seem like a good place to do that. I also like another thing about 4chan, like the idea. I like the theory of 4chan of like that, having the anonymity takes away from the. Like, it takes the persona out of the argument where, like, your ideas have to stand on their own and it's not couched in, like, who you are. But it also makes me feel like I'm speaking to no one. Like, talking to people who are anonymous and where I can't, like, check in and see how they changed based on what I said. Like, I guess you can see the tone of conversation change across the website if, like, more people end up talking more like you. But I don't know, it's always felt to me like you're screaming into the void, talking on there. And the same kind of goes for any forum, but like the reason I like doing my own content is that people have to respond to it directly. I know you're not talking past the point I made because the point I made is front and center, not just the subject that I'm talking about. Shit. I didn't realize that guy would break my guard. Most of it's just anti-trans stuff. I think it's always kind of been that way. I think, like, to me, a huge portion of internet shitlords is like just self-hating gays. Like self-hating LGBT is a massive amount of internet shitlord culture. And it's 9 times out of 10 the people who hate trans people the most are trans people. whether they realize it or not, whether they'll admit it or not. They're the ones who are the angriest because they're angry at the fact that they have those feelings. They don't want to see people. They don't want to be confronted with those feelings. They want to shut them out and make them go away. And they think that if they can make other people who have those feelings shut up and go away, that it will help their feelings go away. It doesn't work, though. And mostly because people like me will never shut up and go away. And we're stronger than the people who want us dead. Little weaklings in their internet houses who can't do shit. Justice with $2. Thoughts on the current state of Twitter/X? Thank you. It's been weird. There are certain things that have gotten better, certain things that have gotten worse. The culture is really strange on there right now. So when it comes to Twitter, I've been stuck on Twitter forever. I've been addicted to it since 2008. My account was created. I've literally been on Twitter longer than Elon Musk. My fucking account is older than Elon Musk's account. So I'm a bit of an addict. And in the early days, it was actually worse for me than it is now. Because I just took all of it a little bit more seriously. I used to, like, every time a bot followed me, I would literally manually block them, you know? I spent a lot of time on there, and I would always be kind of upset because people would never react to things I said, you know? I just felt like I was screaming into a void, and I would get very annoyed at other people's takes all the time, you know. So in the beginning, it was more difficult, and there were literally multiple times that I blocked myself from being able to use Twitter, where like I took the ad blocker, and I blocked each individual element of the page on Twitter. So that when I would go there, it would just be a blank page. Because it's a force of habit where I'll just like type the letter T into the search bar and hit enter. You know, I'll just do that naturally all day. So unless I have some way of actively stopping myself, I will constantly end up checking it. So yeah, when I was like, I need to get off Twitter, I just blocked every part of the page. There's also like there's like extensions you could get to block yourself from pages or time yourself out for like a certain amount of the day. I did stuff like that before. But over time, I stopped taking it quite as seriously. You know, I got used to just like blocking and muting and moving on kind of thing. And, you know, I started having a strong set of mutuals. I think what's great about Twitter is having mutuals. Like, if you don't have mutuals on Twitter, it's hard to... I don't think you could really... There's no appeal. You know, if you're just using it to follow people, and there's no, like, communication or back and forth, I don't think you would enjoy it very much at all. If you have mutuals, it's hard to escape Twitter, because you have to go somewhere else, and all of your mutuals have to go there, too. You know, like... So when something like Blue Sky comes around, it's like, yes, some of the people you like are going to go over there, but not everybody. And, you know, half of them are just waiting for the other half to go is the kind of thing. So, yeah, it's been like, it's like hard to leave because you'll think about like, well, what's Nino doing today? What's Big Fan of Bridges doing today? What's you know, like, just what are the people who I stalk on Twitter doing right now? And I end up feeling closer to those people than I do to almost anybody else, because I don't have friends I hang out with in real life. I don't reach out to people that often. Like, I have DM groups, but I don't really, like, independently reach out to people unless it's to work on a project or something. So like, you know, the people who I'm mutuals with on Twitter, I see more of them than I see of almost anybody else, you know? And a lot of them are addicted. Like the two I just mentioned, you know, Nino, big fan of Bridges. Like these are people who tweet all fucking day. So if I like these people, like I do kind of have a sense of a constant presence of a small group of people I like through Twitter. Now, I wish I could just hang out with these people in real life because, you know, obviously reading their Twitter takes isn't always the most fun way to engage with them. Some people are just really fucking funny all day on Twitter, or, you know, I follow a ton of art, so I see, if you follow my Twitter, it is like 50% retweets of art, and like jokes, and then 50% my own original jokes and art. So yeah, it's pretty much to me a website of mostly comedy and art, and just like a way to keep up with people who I care about. But it also is kind of a news site because you've got the whole trending topic aspect, and you know, just it's a very quick, easy way to keep up with what's going on in cultural conversations. You know, anything that happens at all in the world gets tweeted about instantly. So like you'll always be the most on the cusp you can be if you're on there, you know. At least in terms of stuff that I would care about, you know. So it's a place where I feel more connected to the world a lot of the time because of stuff like when Akira Toriyama died. You know, I'm on Twitter all day just seeing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people reacting to it. And so it's like that feeling of the whole cultural, you know, gestalt happening directly to you, you know. And there's the Kendrick and Drake beef. That's the other big example recently that, like, you know, I think probably in the last 2 weeks I've spent even more time than I normally would on Twitter and YouTube, just because I've never felt more connected to more people about something. Like, I've never seen as many people putting as much thought into the same thing as I am before. Ever. Never in my life have I put so much thought into something and seen so many other people putting the same amount of thought, if not more, into that same thing. So that's been super exciting. So yeah, now I'm talking about the current state of X. So I'm mostly talking about it from the perspective of like why I like it theoretically overall. The current state of it is, you know, Elon Musk took it over. He made a bunch of changes that a lot of them are fine, but he made like cis into a slur, which is fucking horse shit. He made cracker into a slur, which is horse shit. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube, but yeah, like they're just like a lot of self-defense. You know, Elon Musk has really tried to make Twitter into something that serves him and his agenda. And, you know, he's made it like a better website to use, but a shittier platform, if that makes sense. You know? Okay, that was really bad. That was a huge mistake. Oh yeah, the spirit calling bell. I forgot about that too. I guess we could go do that. Maybe that's what the thing is about. Like, after you have the horse, maybe you have to have visited 3 before Ronnie comes to you. I don't remember how this all works. God damn it. Send me the witch. Not you.
Forgive me.
Oh, I'm at the wrong place.
I've been testing you to determine.
Or maybe not.
Elden ring. If you
Okay, yeah.
Whereas there is, but I can take you. Gathering place.
Oh, I didn't know I could go to the round table hold this early in the game.
Very well. Let my hand.
I thought this was something you... I thought you had to get a lot farther before this happened.
Disconnected. Smartphone connected.
Stop saying that weird speaker thing. Alright, round table hold. Look at all the swords in the table.
I don't believe we've met.
This guy's got a guy attached to him. Oh yeah, it's Vampire Hunter D.
In death and weed their death root. Heed my warning. Those who live in death should be left well alone. All the more should you spy a mariner among their number, unless you wish to lay down your life in vain.
Anathemy Bedesu says art is an underrated part of Twitter. Pixiv and Tumblr just don't hit the same. I agree. It's and for me, I'll also say my Twitter page is very curated to represent my identity, like more than anything else. Where like the theory of what I post on Twitter is like basically stuff I would have said if I had thought of it, you know, or would have drawn if I could have drawn it. Like, I pretty much only retweet stuff that to me, like, stands for my taste, that, like, you know, I consider representative in some way, so.
You do. Most tarnished a blind you, Arsenal. What do you say?
Teach me incantations. I have no souls to buy incantations. I seriously did not know I could come here this early in the game. Door is blocked shut. Well, that's no good. You're a creepy old fuck.
Oh, this is a rare occasion.
A rare occasion.
The last time a new tarnished made their way to the round table. Very well. As your senior, I bid you welcome. It is safe here. You may let down your guard.
If you don't use Twitter, I will say you probably shouldn't start. But it is a good way to keep up with me. I do tweet a lot. Although, I definitely look at Twitter more than I actually tweet. Like, compared to people who really be on there all day. You know, I probably tweet less than 100 times a day. Yeah. Give me the big hug. Give me the hug.
My thanks. Great.
Gary Always is here with $2. Thanks for introducing me to Flood. Rant about Boris. Boris is the best band. I have a video from a long defunct what was my music channel called? Digi's Round was it? It can't be Round Table. That doesn't sound right. I'm in Round Table Hold. That's why I'm thinking that. Turntable. I had a video about how I think Boris has the greatest discography of all time. And I use that word specifically because they have a fuckload of albums, and they're all very different from one another. They've got, like, speed metal albums, they've got hardcore punk albums, they've got, you know, weird, experimental, slow shit, they've got noise, they've got, you know, soundtrack-style music, stuff with vocals, without vocals, and all of it is great. All of it sounds like nothing else. Like, not only does no Boris album sound like exactly like another Boris album, but also there's no other band that has ever made anything that sounds like a Boris album at all. So they're just super, super unique. And the music is, like, almost always great, you know, for its genre. It's not always something everybody would like, but it's always, you know, it's always doing a great job at being what it is. Wata is my favorite guitarist of all time. She is one of my musical mothers, up there with Yoko Kanno. Yeah, Boris rules. Seeing Flood live is still the best show I think I've ever been to.
Let's get smithy.
Let's get smithed. I would, but I ain't got nothing to smith. with. I guess I could sell. Now, about the chains.
Nothing special.
What chains? Oh, there we go.
Chains. I'm trapped by the hole.
I'm more curious about your chicken legs, buddy.
You fools. That's all there is to it.
Mabuta no Ura is your comfort album. That's like a, I think that's the slower soundtracky one, right? The like soundtrack to a film that doesn't exist type thing. I could be remembering wrong, but that sounds right. Boris with Merzbow is so peak. I saw Danny Brown live 3 weeks ago and it was bonkers. Man, I wish I could have seen that. Danny Brown had, did you see with Alice Long Yu Gao? Because I want to see that so fucking badly. Believe the hype. I love Alice Long Yu Gao, and I could not believe she was opening for Danny Brown for certain shows. And then I don't get to see it. I just missed it. Like, the only show that was going to happen this, like, past month that I would have been excited for was Prof came through with Grip, who are both great rappers, and I'm sure that was probably a dope show, but I did not remember that it was happening and missed it. We're all stars now at the dope show. I'm guessing I'll die if I jump down there, based on the blood stains on the ground and such. Fell in love with a girl.
Hello. Well, the honor of one's house holds little importance. By the way, she's
Yeah,
my
yeah,
servant.
yeah.
Take your eyes off you find her.
I'll find her. Internet Pit Stop with $5. Thank you so much. Who do you think would win in a Silly Willy contest, me or you? I mean, the fact that you even asked a question like that makes me think that you must be quite the Silly Willy. Like to ask me who is the bigger Silly Willy. I'm going over to your channel right now. I'm going to determine Internet Pit Stop here with 217k subscribers and some sick videos like fashion and anime, the downfall of Pokemon regions, the beauty of 90s aesthetics, and of course the beauty of anime backgrounds, which is almost 5 hours long. If you haven't seen it, I do heavily recommend Internet Pit Stop's Beauty of Anime Backgrounds video. Anime backgrounds are like one of the most important things of the medium to me, and they have never been talked about enough. You know, I made a video about Shinichiro Kobayashi called The Master in the Background of 40 Years of Anime. It's only like 4 minutes long. It was just kind of me being like, hey, look, this guy, he did all these backgrounds. He's really good. Isn't that interesting? You know, and Internet Pit Stop went and basically deep dove the entire history of all anime backgrounds. You know, talked way more about Shinichiro Kobayashi being like the god, the legend, and then also lots of other great stuff. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that video. Thanks for popping in, by the way. Get the fuck out of this place. You know, I'm pretty silly. But if it was a contest, I don't know. I don't know if I could pull ahead of somebody who's going out of their way. You know, somebody who's practiced in the arts of silly willying. Now, if it was a wildin' out, if you were asking, like, who was more wildin', I'm sure I'm more wildin'. Look at all these guys. See, like, this is wildin' out behavior. Right here. I'm glad to know my video was an influence on your video. I kind of wondered that when I was watching it, because I was thinking like, well, I feel like I'm the only person who's ever even mentioned Shinichiro Kobayashi in an analysis video, which is like really sad considering like I mean, even I, knowing how much he's done and how long he's been around, didn't really appreciate how actually important or meaningful that is until watching your video. Like, I kind of was like, oh wow, he really is like the guy, you know?
Disconnected. Smartphone connected.
It's the kind of thing that I guess it seems like, as an observer, just looking at the work, you're like, this is the guy. But you forget that everybody else, like everybody who makes stuff, is also just looking at stuff and then, you know, like making stuff because they saw the stuff. So it's kind of like, yeah, everybody thought that. Everybody saw his work and thought that, you know? So if they hadn't, we wouldn't have a whole anime industry and all these beautiful background artists and shit. I gotta check out more of your videos. I think that's actually the only one that's how I found out about you, and so I don't know if I feel like I saw another one, but that's the only one I'm sure I've seen. But I'll check out more. Oh yeah, there's a fucking disembodied voice coming from a shrubbery around here somewhere. Oh.
Yeah, you there? Stop pretending you can't see me.
Where are you, you fucking asshole? Sounded like his voice was coming from right in that spot I was standing.
Why won't anyone look me in the eye?
Oh, it's this.
I'm not that ugly, am I?
There you go.
What'd you go and do that for? Oh, yes. I remember.
Little rat man.
Some clod turned me into a tree. You were just
Oh yes, I remember.
Thank you.
I was a tree a moment ago.
I was pushed out of the cave. Told not to come back. Not ever. Then I ended up as a tree. You came along, really.
In response to Pedro, who said, I'd love to see you playing this game and giving your thoughts, B. You are. You are seeing me play this game and give my thoughts. So, I guess you love to see it. Wow. Arteria leaf. I wonder what I could do with that. Where do I go to get to Arteria? Stupid rolling sheep. Oh, you like my travelogue on Elden Ring? Yes, I had a lot of fun with that, and I stopped because nobody was watching it. I mean, I'm glad you watched it, but not a lot of people were. And it was a lot of effort. I think I only published 2 of those, and I wrote at least 4 or 5. And I had footage for a lot. It was basically like, I think I had played through, I think it was like I had done 4 play sessions where I'd played and then wrote about the session. And like at first I was doing it immediately, where it was like I'd play and then I'd write, and then I'd play and then I'd write. And, you know, I'd write while watching back the footage of me playing. And those first 4, they went well. But I was like getting really sick of not being able to just play the game like consistently. So I was like, all right, well, I'm filming myself play it anyways. Oh no, that's what it was. Now I remember why this was so chaotic. Because at first I wasn't filming myself play it. I had been just playing it, and then I had the idea to do the series. And so I wrote about all of my experiences from what I had played so far, and that was the first, the material of what would become the first 4 videos. And then I recorded myself redoing all that stuff. Like, I went back through and did all the same stuff again, so I would have it for the video, but like just did it all quicker. And then I got to a point where I was caught up to myself. So like I'd written the stuff, I'd, you know, gotten the footage, and now I was able to, you know, just record footage. And I thought, okay, well now I don't have to stop and write everything down because I'll be able to go watch it back. but I quickly overwhelmed myself. Like, I immediately had, 12 hours of footage that I had to write about, and the videos weren't performing. So I was just like, oh man, I have stuck myself too deep in the mud on this project. And I think at some point I was going to like retry, just like restart it and redo it. I was talking about earlier how there was a while where I started off with the double stone sword key and was trying to knock out that first thing that you can do like right at the beginning of the game to prove a point. But after like 2 days of trying, I could not actually fully beat that segment. I think that was the last time I played Elden Ring. So it was like, yeah, just me trying to turn the game into a like writing project. I don't know, maybe it could have been successful if I stuck with it, but it was taking so much effort and yielding so little reward at the time that it seemed untenable to continue. And part of the issue also was that the game was so new that a lot of people were trying to avoid spoilers. So, like, people kept complaining, like, they would come to the streams and stuff because, Bird was playing it live, and Bird, like, beat the whole game within, a couple weeks of it coming out, and beat it, like, 4 times over, so he was just, like, ready to, be playing and showing people what's going on, and people kept, oh, it's spoilers, and I was like, you guys are never going to beat this game. Stop acting like you're really worried about spoilers, but it is what it is. I think I was too early with that idea. I also was under the impression at the time that I was going to need to be quick to be relevant with Elden Ring, and that's not true. Like, it's not true for any of the From Software games because they've become such legacy media, like so beloved. But Elden Ring, it was instant that there were like many whole channels dedicated to this game. Like a ton of new YouTubers emerged just to talk about this game, and they're still talking about it. Like Dom's Roundtable, still talking about Elden Ring. Fucking, what's that damn twink's name? Scumnut. Still talking about it. So I think if I had had the mindset that like this was going to be a game that I could talk about as long as I wanted to, that would have been a healthier mindset to enter the project with, rather than like I have to write everything about Elden Ring immediately because otherwise everything's going to have been said about it already. No, you cannot say enough about this game. There's too much. Good night, Anatheme Badesu. Have a good one. And yeah, Justice, this game definitely was a cultural moment. I feel like we've had a lot more of that lately, I feel like for a long time, the internet it's been allowing us to get smaller and smaller, more granular communities, so it's harder for like one thing to appeal to everybody, but when it does, holy shit does it, like if it's an Elden Ring, if it's a Kendrick versus Drake, if it's Toriyama's death, like that's obviously not like a good thing that happened, but it's just like a cultural zeitgeist moment where like it feels like my whole generation all was saying the same thing at the same time. Like everybody's plugged in. There's been some stuff close. Helldivers 2 is like close. Depends on who you talk to, right? Like I kind of am obsessed with Helldivers 2. Doesn't seem like anyone in my audience is. I don't know about you guys. Let me know if you play Helldivers 2. Okay, yeah, Roger Ramos, you play it. Cool. Like, I don't think I've streamed it yet, but I like had tweeted and stuff about playing it, and like me and Bird talked about it, and just I didn't get one single person being like, oh, we should play Helldivers together, or like you should stream Helldivers, like so I haven't done that. But when I talked to my brother Shade about it, he was just like, because I think I told him Victor's not playing it, and Shade's like, he's the only one, like he was under the impression literally everyone is playing this game, and I was like, it's either that's the case or I don't know why people are being quiet, but I certainly love it. I think I might like Helldivers 2 more than I like this game, actually. Like, as I'm playing this, I'm like, this is fun, this is cool, you know. But it's pretty much just like fuck around, run around, hit stuff with your sword, like make your own goals type of a thing. I like that in Helldivers, you know, you always have like an exact thing you're doing. It's like, all right, you're jumping in, here's the mission, go kill these bugs, go, you know, stop this bomb or whatever, load this bomb, set up us the bomb. I keep forgetting about the horse. I'm so silly. Look at all these goddamn sheep. I'm in the sheep zone. Let's head for the big tree. Let's pick up some shit by this tree. I don't know if I should jump down that, actually. Never mind. We're not going down there. I might have to rebind the jump and fucking dodge buttons, because I'm having such a hard time getting used to them being the opposite of what I expect. Justice said, my dad, who hasn't played video games since the early 2000s, was asking me about Elden Ring. Damn. My dad would not be able to wrap his fucking head around this game. He was a gamer in the arcade and NES, and that is it. That is all he has experience with. Anything beyond that, he just is like, he looks at the controller and he's like, "What? There's too many buttons. Like, I don't understand. Where do I put my hands?" Big clouds. Look at those big clouds. Big dramatic clouds up there. Digital style. Yeah, I don't know. I thought I wanted to beat this game before the DLC comes out. But as I sit here playing it, I don't know how much I actually care. I'm wondering if I could just maybe watch Bird play through this game again. And, you know, get the full experience. Part of it is pretty difficult to actually, like, concentrate on doing anything in this game and talking at the same time. Like, I am much more focused on being a streamer than I am on being a gamer, and I think it shows. Granted, nobody can fucking probably tell what I'm doing because the game footage looks like such dog shit. I'm honestly shocked I won that fight just now. Killing random guys and looting their corpses. What's my character's name? Just Trixie. I went simple. I didn't even customize this character. I literally just like picked samurai girl and that was it. I had been under the thought that I hadn't played a samurai in this game before, but as I've been going along, I'm thinking I might have actually done that. That is so cool. I love doing that. Kill 'em all. Justice with $5. Says. Hold on, I opened up Internet Pit Stop instead and lost my place in chat. Justice with $5. Rant about arcade classic games you have experience with. All right. Well, I've played a lot of the, you know, the very famous games. So, I want to say the first arcade game I played like on a cabinet was probably Galaga. And I remember there being like a dentist office when I was a kid that had a Galaga cabinet. I've never been any good at it, but I've played Galaga, you know, a number of times over the years. I've tried a little Space Invaders, very hard. I I've played Pac-Man, also never been any good. Centipede, you know, I've played on calculators, little graphing calculator Centipede in class occasionally, as you do. I'm trying to think. I can't remember the name of it because it's a dumb name, but there's that one like game where you're kind of like on an octagon. Like there's an octagon shape that you're moving around the sides of and shooting like down a tube at enemies as they come towards you. That's apparently was my dad's favorite arcade game when he was growing up, and he's considered getting. There's like a cabinet that has that and Galaga and like a bunch of other classic Atari games that he's considered buying, and I'm like, you should do it, man. I want to play a arcade cabinet in the middle of the house. What else is a classic arcade game that I've played? I mean, I've probably played Pong at least like once for a cursory moment or so. Classic arcade games. I've seen, I've maybe sampled Dig Dug once. Like when I think classic, I'm thinking 70s, right? Like I have to go that far back. Pre-consoles, stuff that existed pre-consoles. I'm trying to think if I have a favorite. Because there's a lot of like great 90s arcade games, but those are most of the ones I've played them on console, Arcades for you translate to fighting games. Like, yeah, that's a case where like I was not in the generation to really have played fighting games in arcades in America. I don't think I've once been to an American arcade that had a fucking fighting game in it that wasn't like at a convention. You fucking never see that. Not that American arcades are very commonplace in the first place, but definitely don't see none with fighting games anymore. Unless it's Mortal Kombat. I guess sometimes I'll see Mortal Kombat. But that's about it. I've been to a couple barcades that maybe you'll have like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter or something, but yeah, most of those games I've played on console, so I don't think of them as classic arcade games necessarily. Round 1 has Tekken and Street Fighter, and some have Marvel vs. Capcom. I don't know what that is. I don't know where you find such a thing. I assume it's a California brand. There's a lot more arcades in Central California than there are in any other place in the United States, I promise. Unless round 1 is like that chain of like places that have all kinds of shit, like a bowling alley and yeah, okay, it is like that. That is what you're talking about. Yeah, they got like a movie theater and a bowling alley and a fucking like just every type of entertainment that you could do in a building. They got it all in a building. I've seen a lot more of those popping up these days. You can't get by with any one entertainment fix anymore. You have to combine every single one. Hey, I got another golden seed. I don't even remember where the fuck I am right now. I don't remember this area. Is this that like blood castle where there's like the blood man? It might be. Picking up blood rose. Yeah, this definitely is the blood castle if there's blood rose here. Look at all that flour. The best arcade I've been to in the United States so far is a place called Two Brothers Brewery and it's a brewery arcade. Their beer is not very good, but the arcade is actually lit as fuck. And it's outside St. Louis. It's like on the way into. If you're coming from the west, it's on the way into St. Louis. I don't remember the name of the actual town, but this place had like Toho and cave shooters. It had fucking, it had some fighting games. They had like a machine in the front that they would swap out what game was in it, like their game of the week or whatever. And at the time I was there, it was Cotton 2, and I was just like, this place is real? Like, how is this happening? I had a cooler game selection than some conventions I've been to with whole gaming rooms. I was like, damn. I gotta focus up here for a second. Oh, wrong button. God damn it. No, I don't want to do that. Fuck. Oh, no. Okay, I thought I fell off the cliff for a second there. There we go. Well, that was bad. That wasn't a good. That was an ungood that I did there. Eldon wrong. Eldon wrong. Elding ring. You ever get Elden so hard you ring? Alright, there's a cave that I meant to do. Like, I was looking for it like an hour and a half ago, and I kept going into the wrong caves, or the wrong alleyways, and I just really want to go back to that cave and beat that cave. Because I consider that the first thing you do in Elden Ring. Like, the first, most easiest challenge in Elden Ring is this one cave that's like right before this area that I'm in right now. You are not going to interrupt my walk to the cave. Alright, it's probably that. That looks like a cave. Yeah, here we go. Easy cave. This easy cave is the real start of the game. So don't worry, everybody. I know I've been playing for 3 hours, but I'm going to start the game now. Okay, here we go. Let's play Elden Ring. Let's go in this cave and kill a guy. Like we're ringing in the Eldens. Are you ringing in the Eldens? Stowing away the rings? Are you gathering up the Elden rings? Have you had enough Elden rings? I lived that somehow. Alright, cracked pot, my favorite. I prefer my pot with crack. Dog butcher. Chat, would you eat a dog burger? Be honest. If it was made of pit bull. Are they, do you think they're like a tastier dog than other dogs? Or you just don't like them? Got him. Beastman of Faramazula. Alright, we did it. We beat it a boss. It's like a real Elden Ring's going on in here. I don't want to return to the entrance. Why would I want to do that? There's probably more stuff in the cave. Try ranged battle. I always love when you just see a corpse like stacked with messages on it. Head ahead. Am I going the right way? Am I going backwards? No, this looks new. Oh no, this isn't new. I did go backwards. Whatever. Hey, let's add a charge to my flask. Forgot I had that. Look at that. Beautiful. I haven't even leveled up once and I've got fucking extra shit. Hey, I can level up now. Let's go right into strength, baby. We'll need 29 more runes to level up again. Let's just go smack a wolf in the head and go deeper into the cave, yeah? Or is there not a deeper into the cave? Was that... I obviously went back the way I came on accident, but... maybe that's all there was. I thought this cave led out down to the beach. I might be thinking of a different cave. Yeah, maybe that was all that was in here. I guess that's why there's a teleporter back to the start. Gary always, where did you find this restaurant that serves dog? I'm very curious to know where I can find something like that. Not that I am itching to eat a dog, but whoa, look at that fucking moon. Now that is a powerful moon. Beat her ass. God damn. Just chopping them down. Not even a contest. Crushing skulls under the hooves of my valiant steed. Remember these guys being assholes. I don't want to mess around with them. I feel so accomplished. I mean, it only took me 3 hours, but I finally beat the first fucking standard enemy of the game. I feel like maybe I'm nearing the end of this play session. That was a mistake. There we go. First Trixie stream you've seen. Oh my gosh. And it's so close to being over. I'm sorry, but it's okay. I'm pretty much planning to stream every single day for the foreseeable future. So, you know. stick around and you'll definitely see this happen again. But the super chats have been slowing down, so I'm thinking it's starting to be a little bit of the sleeping hour. It is, after all, about to be midnight, and I wake up early. If you haven't heard my new song, By Daybreak, I wake up early, and I slap 3 rappers by daybreak. It's only facts. I guess I can't talk to him from on top of the horse. I gotta put war in the title of the streams. That's true. You reminded me. I forgot about that. If I don't put war in the title, I'm not gonna get nearly as many views. What would this be the war of, though? The Elden Ring war? I mean, I guess that would get people thinking, right? They'd be like, well, what the hell is the Elden Ring war? Are people arguing about Elden Ring or something? And they'll click and it's just me at war with Elden Ring. We'll give it a shot on the next one. Just call it the Elden Ring War or something. Unless I actually have a war topic in mind next time. The Gender War Double Agent title that one really got people's attention. I don't know if I could even come up with a title that good again. People do love gender. Yeah, a little bit obsessed with it, you might say. Do you think it was gender or war that really did it? Because I think there was another one I had war in the name that went pretty... Oh yeah, the Kendrick's War on Pedophiles. That one actually did even more views. So I think it's the war. I don't think it's just gender. I mean, people don't love pedophiles. But they do love war. I love war. Gentlemen. It's actually pretty comical how much easier this little segment is on the horse than it is on foot. These guys just go down. Circle strafe to victory. I missed so many swings there. Alright. We're gonna kill this man before I go to bed and stop playing, because he's been pissing me off and he's killed me a few times. This is such a stupid ass video game. Alright, we did it. Gang gang. I don't know what I got. Oh, a helm. Sick. New helmet. New flats in my new flat tune slaps. New flats in my new flat tune slaps. New flats in my new flat tune slaps. Where that hook at? Bring that hook back. New flats in my new flat tune slaps. And I died. That was goofy. Alright. Okay. If that's how you truly feel about it, then. Alright. Okay. If that's how you truly feel about it, then. I think that's it. Good night, everybody. Thank you. This has been a beautiful live stream. And, that's enough Elden Ring. Alright. Good night, everybody. Thanks for coming out. And I will end this live stream as soon as I get Open Broadcaster to appear before me again. Thank you.